Hey everyone, this is David Brown with the migration update for May 7th, 2025 from the Derby Hill Hawkwatch. The Hawkwatch was not conducted today. There was rain in the morning with southwesterly winds, and then the rain kind of tapered off and the wind shifted more northwesterly, but when that happened, the visibility dropped with some fog rolling in. And then the rest of the day, it was just on and off rain, and it really just never cleared up. Although west of us over at Braddock Bay and Rochester, they had a great day, but we just kind of had a band of rain coming down from the northwest that stayed over us the whole day. But not having any raptors just means there's more time to look at the other birds. Here we have what Lake Ontario looked like today. One of these is not like the other. Here we have a flock of double-crested cormorants with a single ring-billed gull mixed in. Here we have a tern, and most of the terns we see are the large Caspian terns, but this was a smaller tern with a bouncier flight style. We see a long tail on this bird, and we see a darker red bill, and we see that the upper surface of the wing is a consistent gray color. This is a common tern. Here's a nice in-focus shot of a twig and a very out-of-focus photo of a bird, but this photo tells us everything we need. We see overall this bird has a black cap to the head with a whiter cheek. We see some white wing bars, some black streaking to the sides, and some yellowish orange legs and feet. This is a blackpoll warbler, my first of the season. Here's another angle of that same blackpoll warbler. Again, you can see those white wing bars, and you can especially see that yellowish leg and foot. And this is a good field mark in the fall when they look very similar to bay-breasted warblers. These gloomy days can be great days for photography because it's a nice even lighting on the birds. Here we have a warbler with a black head and upper breast and some nice orange highlights to the sides. This is a male American redstart. Here's another warbler, and this one was bouncing its tail as it was perching. This one has a reddish cap. It's got some yellow highlights to the face and upper breast, a grayish cheek, and it gets a little bit dull underneath with some light streaking. This is a palm warbler. Here we have a warbler that is completely yellow except for some reddish streaking to the breast. This is a yellow warbler. And one more warbler. This one's pretty plain overall. We don't see any wing bars. We see it's yellow underneath with a grayish head and a white eye ring. This is a Nashville warbler. Bill, who is a dedicated watcher of this channel and has become a Derby Hill regular this spring, dropped off the ingredients for me to make some chili for dinner, and it was delicious. Thanks, Bill. Today I had 72 species, including 14 species of warblers. It rained all night last night, so you would think that there wouldn't be any new arrivals, but I picked up 5 new species for the season today, which were Lincoln sparrow, blackpoll warbler, chestnut-sided warbler, magnolia warbler, and just a little while ago I looked out the window and saw an early common nighthawk fly by, bringing us to a total of 176 species for the season. We are now 7 days into May, and if you look at the totals, 3 out of those 7 days, there was essentially no count. So the weather has really been hit or miss so far. The May total remains 3,420, and the season total remains 81,678. For tomorrow, they're calling for mostly cloudy skies with a high of 53 and winds north-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So we'll be down at the south lookout. And normally we would think of that as an unfavorable wind. However, there were a lot of birds that migrated past Braddock Bay today, and the way the rain was, it was just kind of over our area. If you go a bit to the west, I think they had better weather. So I think there were probably a lot of raptors on the move that kind of stacked up a little bit west of us that are probably getting ready to go. So as long as that northerly wind doesn't push them too far south and around us out of view, it could end up being an interesting day tomorrow, with those big numbers of turkey vultures and broadwings and sharpies and everything else that Braddock Bay had. And I think they even had golden eagle, and someone else had a golden eagle in Oswego today. So tomorrow could be interesting at the south lookout. For Friday, they're calling for considerable cloudiness with occasional rain showers, a high of 53, and winds north at 10 to 15 miles per hour. So that'll be at the south lookout again, and I'd say that's a little less favorable with the chance of rain. Sounds a bit gloomier, so only light migration for Friday. And for Saturday, they're calling for rain showers early and then mostly sunny, so it's finally clearing up after some gloomy, rainy days. A high around 60 and winds west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. That could be an interesting day, especially as it starts to clear up. I'd expect moderate migration, and we'll probably be down at the south lookout. All right. Well, it's a great time of year to be out birding any day. Even on a rainy day like today, this seems really gloomy, and with somewhat strong winds in the morning, there were still a lot of warblers around, and I had some really nice looks at warblers. I wish I would have been able to take more photos, but when it was raining, a lot of the time I was leaving my camera in the house. But I had really nice looks at those first of season chestnut-sided warbler and magnolia warbler. So there's a lot of good birds around right now. This is the time of year that really anything could show up. And yeah, just get out and birding. There's a lot of amazing birds around right now, and Derby Hill's a great place to come see them. So I hope you can join us soon. From Lyco Birds, this is David Brown. Thanks for watching.